You're watching Money Talk Viewpoint, and I'm Chantel Leeson. Small businesses, large businesses, middle-sized businesses all have one thing in common. The most successful businesses have an ongoing stream of prospects that become customers or clients. And that's called marketing. That's how they get themselves in front of the right people for the right reasons with the right messages. For those of you looking for ways to get in front of those right people, reach out to us at moneytalkviewpoint.org and talk to one of our specialists today. Now, with that being said, let me introduce my special guest. He is also my co-host for most of the shows. This is Dennis Williams. He's the founder and creator of CashMap app and managing partner for CashMap Consulting. Dennis, I could talk for hours about how great you are, but I'm going to turn it over to you and let you handle it. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for being a guest speaker to share us information about your company today. Go ahead, Dennis.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to be here. And again, as you said, Dennis Williams. I live in Bellingham, Washington, out on the West Coast. The name of the company is CashMap Consulting, and I really do focus on creating superior cash management solutions for both individuals and small businesses, enabling them to keep their money working for them so that they are able to keep more of their money so that they can use it to accelerate achieving what's most important to them in their life, and doing it with low risk strategies.
The impact that CashMap has on people personally and in their business.
No, that's a great question. Number one, the biggest thing that what our strategies do is that by simply using just a very safe strategy that banks have been using for years, the impact is that people are paying less interest for lending. And by being able to pay less interest, they're able to accelerate being able to pay down a debt. And by paying less interest, those dollars now go to accelerating paying off a debt. When that happens, we're also looking at seeing that their credit score goes up. And oh, by the way, there's a third outcome that happens. I've seen it over and over again, where it actually improves relationships between partners, because now all of a sudden they're able to see the impact of being able to get where they want to be sooner than they ever thought possible.
Don't banks do that for people, though? I mean, is this in some way cutting the bank out of the issue?
Actually, quite to the contrary. A strong customer for the bank means more money for the bank. But the strategy that we teach, most of the bank staff are not even aware of. And so we're still going to be using all the bank services, but we'll be learning how to use their services more efficiently to our benefit, so that in turn, it goes to the bottom line to make the bank's customer stronger.
Okay. Does that even affect how interest on credit cards when people using CashMap? Does it affect the credit card balances, or when they pay down the debt?
Well, it can. Once upon a time, that's a really great question. You know, one of the things that that the strategy does teach is how to effectively use a small line of credit, enabling us to keep our money working for us all the time. So, a credit card is in fact a line of credit, but the conditions have changed recently, where once upon a time, if you took cash from your credit card, it was at the same interest rate at whatever the bank would charge. But now, as a general rule, whenever you take cash from a credit card, that is considered a cash advance that makes it extremely expensive using a credit card for the strategy that we're talking about using, enabling you to pay dramatically less interest. And again, Chantel, paying less interest to get to where you want to be enables you to pay down debt at an accelerated pace. And it does not matter whether or not it's a low interest loan or a higher interest loan. We are now using our dollars to keep them working for us so that we in turn pay dramatically less money.
And for a small business owner, or even for an individual, what specific actions would you suggest that they take?
Well, here's the first thing that I would encourage people to consider is that for a small business who may be using a line of credit from their local bank, what most people will do is they will use that line of credit and then wait until they get their bill to make the payment required by the bank at the end of the month. Well, that is the most expensive way of managing your line of credit. Instead, what you want to do is as soon as you receive revenue from a customer, don't leave it sitting idle in a checking account, but instead immediately move it as a payment into your line of credit to keep the balance on the line of credit as low as possible all month long.
What else can you do to minimize your average daily balance?
Okay, so now you just open up another term you just used that most people don't even know what that is. Most people know the average daily balance is what is used to determine how much interest you're going to have to pay on your credit card. In other words, if you don't pay your credit card off every month, the bank's going to use the average daily balance, or another term is called the daily interest cost, to charge you. Now, dealing with a debt, the average daily balance, you want to keep it as low as possible, right, Chantel?
Right, exactly.
So there's two ways to keep it low. The first one is that if I pay the balance down, that's one way to keep it low. The other way to keep it low is for me to pay for things near the end of the billing cycle of that line, so that we've kept it low all month long, and maybe just a couple days before, then there'd be a little pop. And by doing that, we've kept the balance low, and a low balance means, regardless of the interest rate, the interest cost will be very low.
I like to use an example that Christmas is going to be not that far away. The best time to shop is like if you pay your bill on the 21st of the month, you should charge probably on the 20th of the month or the 18th. Is that you're saying more like that?
So let's take a step back. Let's go back again to the business owner, or if you wanted to use if you want to use an individual, would you like to use an individual instead?
Well, let's do both. Let's do the individual, but since we're looking at a lot of small businesses and entrepreneurs, let's look at them as well. I'm sure a lot of them are having cash flow issues.
Okay. If an individual has a small line of credit, and let's say they want to use it to get rid of, so we say the mortgage,
right?
Then I'm going to take a withdrawal from the line of credit, and I'm going to make an additional payment to that mortgage. Now, when I do that, that's going to accelerate the loan schedule, in which I'm going to save thousands of dollars in interest. Like, for example, a $300,000 mortgage. If I have a 6% interest rate and I make a $5,000 additional payment, I'm going to save $23,000 in interest by making a $5,000 payment if it's at the beginning of the loan period, and I'm going to skip 16 months.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's huge.
16 months.
Are any people
So
aware of that?
most people that I speak with are not aware at the way that loan schedules work.
Do banks even cover that part for them, or
Well, I know when I certainly bought my home, they didn't cover it.